How's it going, everyone? You're very welcome to this LGFA Club Leadership Series webinar. My name is Niall Mulrine. I'm a National Development Officer with the LGFA, and I'm delighted this evening to be joined by Austin McKenna. Austin, would you like to introduce yourself?
Hello, I'm Austin McKenna. I'm the National Registrar, and I'll be taking you through the final details of Foireann tonight.
There we go. So Austin, I say, is the man with all the knowledge. I'm here just to keep an eye on the chat and make sure everyone knows what's going on in terms of that. Austin, do you want to move on to the next slide there? I say tonight we are looking at getting started as a club registrar, and it is part of the club leadership series. So we have a lot of people in the chat tonight. Maybe I'm going to just before we go in, I'm going to start a poll here, and I just want you to click on the button just telling us how long you've been in the role. So have you been in the role? Is this your first year in the role? Are you between 1 and 3 years, or have you been in the role for more than 3 years? So if you want to hit the one that relates to yourself there now, we'll give you 30 seconds just to do that as well. So Jennifer, good to see you're in your 3rd year as well. Good stuff. Just, Austin, I'll put this up in a wee second. We've nearly got everyone in. Most people are in their 1st year. So that's good. That's good to see. Now we do have a good wee sprinkling of people in their 1 to 3 years, about 20%, and then we have about 15% are 3 years and plus there as well. So some people are typing into the chat too. That's good. I'm going to end the poll there now, guys, so you can see you can see the results on your screen. So we can see most people here in their 1st year, but we do have some people that have been doing the role for a bit longer, and I suppose that's something we'd like to reinforce, is that myself and Austin's going to go through the content tonight, but this is an opportunity for yourself to give us your views as well, and if you have any hints or tips for anyone else, don't be afraid to share them either. So tonight, what we're going to cover your role as the club registrar. So we're going to look at that at the start, a few bits on roles and responsibilities, and a few key things that we have to do. We'll look at key dates in terms of being the registrar. So what are the key dates to look out for? And then Austin will take us through an introduction to Foireann and a bit of a demonstration on that as well. We'll look at maybe what's in store in the future and where you can get support and resources. And then we'll have maybe 5 or 10 minutes at the end for any questions you have. Just to suppose before we start, we will say that we've got any questions you do have, don't be afraid to type them in through the Q&A box. I'll keep an eye on them, and we'll probably take them all at the end, Austin. Isn't that right?
Yeah, that's okay.
Good stuff. If you want to move on there, Austin, for me. So on to the next slide. There we go. So just before we begin here, guys, again, into the chat for me. Your role as a club registrar, what do you think are the most important things you can do as a club registrar? What are your key tasks as a club registrar? And also, if you want to tell us, what do you think are the key skills and attributes of a registrar? Okay, so what do you think are the key things you have to be, I suppose, good at to be a productive or an effective registrar? And what do you think are the most important things you have to do as the club registrar? So some coming in thick and fast into the chat here, Austin. We can see Brenda's come in and said, ensuring players are registered correctly with the LGFA. Communication is one of the skills there. To ensure all players are registered, being a good communicator and organizer. A lot of people saying and focusing on the registration, which obviously is the main part of the role. Organizational skills, been very organized and assisting people, making sure all members are correctly registered. Making sure players are in the injury fund is a good one to come up there, Austin, as well. Ensuring everyone who needs to be registered are communicating to everyone. And we've got some skills there, being accurate, organized, confidential, handling payments, IT savvy and organized is obviously very important in the age of Foireann here as well. We've got some great stuff coming into the chat. Reporting, we've got even some people are doing some other roles probably as well. We've got reporting to coaches and looking after transfers as well. Some of the things coming in and helping with transfers as well. Some people are saying. So maybe, Austin, if you want to move on to the next slide there for us, we'll look at some of the key rules and responsibilities as set out in our role descriptions for the registrar role. So a lot of you's got it straight away there. The big one there is ensuring that all members are registered. Okay, and I know we'll go through that in more detail, but that is, I suppose, the big job of the registrar, including that all members are registered, including players, non-players, committee members, mentors, and coaches. Okay. Any club member who wants to vote at an AGM, so they have to be registered as well, and submitting registrations via the electronic system. So that's Foireann, and we'll go through that in a bit more detail later on. So job of the registrar then is also, making payments via Foireann linked to their Stripe account, and Austin, you'll talk us through that later on as well. And also making sure the use of team sheets to make sure all members are registered. And it's important to note that a registration is only valid when approved by the National Registrar. So maybe, Austin, would you want to come in there and just expand on that last point maybe?
Yeah, okay, so all registrations have to be approved by myself in the office. We do that between 9 to 5 every day, and at the weekend then it's not available, so you really need to be getting your registrations in on time. One of the biggest problems, we'll deal with all these wee problems, is just making sure that you have money in your Stripe account. The amount of times it happens during the year on a Friday or a Thursday, people come on, need to get somebody registered, they've no money in their Stripe account. Unfortunately, I can't wave a magic wand, same as Niall. It is important to make sure you have some money in your Stripe account. So those are the main key responsibilities, and we get a better understanding of all the different roles throughout the webinar.
Yeah, and I suppose, Austin, if you move on to the next slide there for me, we've just put up, I suppose, our common tasks. So everyone has mentioned Foireann. We've all mentioned ensuring people are registered. But also, it's talking to people, it's connecting with people, it's ensuring people understand the registration process. So those are all parts of your role as well. And obviously tonight, we've put in one of the pictures there tonight, is taking part in training and making sure you understand your role description is a really important role of being the registrar as well. If you move on to the next one there for me, Austin. So we asked you as well for, I suppose, some of the skills and attributes that might go into being a registrar as well. And I suppose it's really important to note that we think of the registrar as just looking after the registrations, but it is a very varied and complex role. And there's a whole host of different skills that are needed to be the registrar. So you can see some of them on the screen at the minute. You've actually, we've left a couple of blanks and you've filled them in yourselves in the chat there. We can see making arrangements, motivating people to come on and be members of the club, affirming people, monitoring registrations, being out and about in the community, and people knowing who you are and what your role is. Consulting with other members of the committee and working with the committee is a big part of the role as well. And then organising and talking to people. So that communication piece really comes into it as well there. I'm going to hand over to Austin now, and you're going to take us through some of our key dates. Austin.
Okay, so important dates for our register. First thing is regarding when did the 2023 season opened. So it opened on the 1st of January. All clubs can start the registration process at any stage from the 1st of January, whether that's for a new member who just comes to the club this year. They can be registered from any time from the 1st of January, and that will cover them then until the 31st of March 2024. Also, whenever a club first tries to register anybody, they're going to have to pay their systems fees for the year, or their LGFA levies. So this year's levies were reduced. We still have the all-in club levy of €150 this year, while the public liability levy, we had a grant from the COVID-19 Club Resilient Fund, so it covered the public liability levy this year, so there's no public liability levy this year. Next year, it is hoped that it will be reduced to 150, and then in 2025, it'll be back up to the previous amount of the public liability levy pre-COVID, which was €250. So clubs must pay that. Again, within the slides, we will address that and show you how a new club register would pay the LGFA levies. So the deadline for membership fees is the 31st of March, very important date. And I would, advise all clubs to try to get the registrations done before that stage, because different problems can come up with Stripe, and just to try to progress as much as possible before that date, rather than you all leaving it to the last week and then maybe running into a problem. So then regarding September the 1st, another very important date. If there's members that want to vote, especially at the club AGM, they must be registered before the 1st of September. So it's another important date for all club registers to be aware for. And that's the same for if they are a member of a county committee, they need to be registered at a club before the 1st of September. If they're on a national committee, the same applies as well. So the 1st of September is a very important date. Not that nearly everybody is registered by the 31st of March. That's the normal time for everybody to get registered, but there's always a few people who are left, maybe just forget about it. And then, of course, the 31st of October is everybody's financial year end. So it's great that we have a range of club registers on tonight. We have a lot of new registers from that poll. We have also got ones in our second, third year more. So hopefully you'll all get a lot out of tonight. There is a lot of detail in this, but hopefully you'll all learn a few new ways of processing membership. So introduction to Foireann. So these are some of the main headings that we'll be dealing with. How to get started on Foireann, setting up Stripe. Can be a slow process at the start, but it has to be done. Membership options, creating and updating the 2023 membership options. If you're in your second year, there's a quick button. If all the membership options are the same as 2022, you can just simply click update. Club members then register on Foireann then is a two-stage process. Stage 1 is between the member and the club, and stage 2 is the club to the association. There's an asterisk there. The reason for that is at the start of the year, you have to pay the LGFA levies before you can register the member to the association. And then we have LGFA clubs at the beginning of the year must pay those fees. So then the registrations are approved by the LGFA. So they're going to be at awaiting approval fees. So when they're approved, they move the change to a green chip, and we'll be demonstrating that now later on. This is all explained in detail with links to Foireann Help on the website now. Hopefully in the next couple of days, we'll have this all updated. Everything on registrations and Foireann, including all the different elements of this webinar, will also be published on the website, broken down into sections. So getting started on Foireann. So we have the individual where they register. We have the homepage, profile, family, events, teams and groups, membership, administration, and then the help portal. Help portal is a brilliant tool. It has really every answer that you can think of. They're well explained and a great way of finding out something that you're not sure about, but we'll explain that in a wee bit more detail later on. Individual, you all know you register your account at foireann.ie. You need a username and a password. Individuals with maybe a problem logging into their account, it's usually the username they don't know. But you can use these two functions at the bottom where you forgot your username or forgot your password. Usually people might have a problem with their username. You can go to any of your club administrator, including your club registrar, and they can confirm your username. And therefore, you can go in, log in on the forget password when you confirm your username and you know that it's going to your own email address. So that's something that you can use to get back into Foireann if you have a problem logging in. One problem on Foireann is there is a history of an awful lot of people with more than one account. So this is one way to control it. If you forgot your username, just contact your club admin, whether it's the club registrar or club secretary. They can confirm your username and you can get back in as explained there. Okay, the home page displays the most relevant information for the individual. Announcements or systems messages. These are very, very important here for our club register. If you go in to register something and you know you have money in your Stripe account and you think you're doing everything right, always just double check, is there an announcement to say there's a problem with the system? So there, about a week and a half ago, the system was actually down for bulk registrations from Friday till Tuesday evening. So, but there was an error message on there and it was in yellow. So always, whenever you're on the home page, if you're trying to register people, just think if it's not working out for you and you think it should be, just check, is there an error message? Okay, and other things on the home page as well is your schedule of events relating to you and your family is indicated, and teams that you're involved in are also indicated. Okay, the profile page, very, very important page. It contains all your personal information, contact details, allow the individual to manage their preference from communications, photography, consent, allow the individual to manage all their clubs. So you can be a member of more than one club. Like what that could mean, you could be a member of your club and you could also be a member of a county. So you might want a member may be a player on the county team, on the 16 team or the senior team. So they can add their county to their profile as well. And it allows them to be seen by both the county and the club in question. It contains information on your membership history here. And it also now contains from last August or so, all your qualifications are being uploaded now shortly, and all the vetting is all now being done on the Foireann system as well. Again, very good information within the help center there regarding the profile and account that explains all of this. And this is the username I was telling you about. If you're unsure of your username, your club administrator can go in here and check what your username is and what email address is being linked to your own profile. Okay, the family page, quite explanatory. It contains all the information regarding any other family members that you have attached to your account. It simplifies the process of buying membership. It allows the management of preferences on behalf of the dependents. It maintains child protection requirements, and it allows you to cater for other dependents as well, which could be adults over the age of 18, a husband and wife team, so it can cater for the whole family all in one. Okay, now events, teams and groups. This is all very much interrelated, and there's a lot now has been released on the communication side of Foireann there in the last few months before Christmas there in particular. It allows those with the role the ability to create events for their team, and you can role assign team coaches and mentors to each team. And again, the help documents is very, very good place to start. The new Foireann app, hopefully you're all aware of that. You can download that for an Apple phone or an Android phone at the moment. It's all came available there before Christmas, and you can now do your membership on that, and the whole communication side of the Foireann system through the app is revolutionary now. And again, all clubs should be looking into the Foireann app, and there's a few webinars coming up that explains the process as well. Okay, these are the Foireann webinars on Thursday, the 2nd of March, setting up teams on Foireann, and then on Thursday, the 20th of April, there's communicating with members on Foireann. 2 Foireann webinars, and we have links from our website to them, or you can go on to the help portal down here, and you can get links to these webinars. You can sign up for them. But this is really the future of Foireann. Everybody using the Foireann app, and you can get notified of everything. Everything now really can be done on the Foireann app, and it is the way to go. We've also got our national fixtures now appearing on the Foireann app, and hopefully the LGFA news will be appearing in the next week or so. And then in the next 2 or 3 weeks, clubs will be able to, so let's say you're an LGFA club only, they'll be able to configure the app that only displays LGFA information, news and fixtures, and coming down the line, county fixtures will also appear. LGFA fixtures will also appear on the app. So there's a lot of new stuff coming to the Foireann app and the whole communications and teams, and we'll deal with this later on. We'll give you a wee example of this later on as well. Membership, most important bit of all. These are where the members individually within Foireann accounts, can pay online. It allows clubs to add members to their club. It allows clubs to view and manage their members list. Really within this filter button here, and I'll explain that later on. LGFA clubs must select members and then select pay LGFA fees. This sometimes causes a wee bit confusion, but we'll explain the different processes later on. And again, Foireann Help Centre here is where it explains all the different options within membership. Within membership option then, so every single member, you can go back and you can see, this here is about clubs, how they set up their membership options, online or manually for club administrators to populate. Okay. The administration section here is where you manage your Stripe account. So a new club, this will be your screen you'd get as a new club getting set up in Foireann. The first thing you have to do is create your Stripe account, and you create it, and then in the future then later on then you use the same administration tab to go back in to log in back into your Stripe account to manage it if there's any problems with it. Okay, request payouts. When you make any changes within Stripe here, you might receive this error message. So this error message means you have to email compliance@gaa.ie for them to clear the restriction. If you come across this, CC me in on the email as well to the GA, and I can chase up the clearance of the restriction. But what that's really all to do with is if somebody in your club or your financial administrator makes any changes to your Stripe account, it must be verified by the GA compliance team. This is where you request top-ups, whether you have to add a payment method, whether it's a card payment, whether it's a link to your bank account. This is where you do it to top it up. Okay, something new that was introduced last year is where you fill in your executive committee, and this is where you fill in your chairperson, secretary, PRO, etc. And communications then can be driven through this by these members as well. Places is for any clubs, where you can set up your ground and your different pitches that you have, and that's all used then within the communication side of things within events and teams and groups. Again, this is all explained then within the help portal as well. Okay, help portal. We have the main area here, which is the help center. It's the go-to place to try to find out if you have a problem. The webinars is another great access of information, and you have also got a library of videos as well there. Okay, something new that's been released here is where you can write to them. So let's say you're Friday evening, 7 o'clock, and you're trying to do something. If you go in here, if you cannot find it, if you can't find what you need within the Foireann, within the help center or the webinar, if you start to write what you're querying, it will prompt you up solutions. And I've used it myself, it's very, very good at prompting solutions. You can also leave a message, but you have to understand, leaving a message, a phone message, it will take them a while to come back to you. And the last, which you're all used to doing, is emailing foireann@ga.ie to raise a ticket. You know, at the moment you could be waiting 3, 4, 5 days. Really busy time of year now, heading into March. It went back to over 2 weeks, and you had to wait. So what they'll recommend, the best option is try the help centre, try the webinars, then write to them, query in, and hopefully it'll populate what the result is for you. Okay. So that's the preferred option at the moment. This is the help centre. You have it broken into all the different categories. This is well updated now in the past 6 months. The main one you're going to be using is this one here, membership registrations. There's about 20 topics inside of that, all very useful to the new club registrar. Yes, there's other things that say Stripe. You will go into that as well, setting up your Stripe. You might have to visit profile and accounts, but this is the main one where you'll get most of your questions answered. Okay, these are the upcoming webinars. They're going on now from now to early April, and there's the archive of them here. And this archive will be updated as these webinars get recorded and get cleaned down. The webinars will be updated here as well. Very much up-to-date information here will be in the archive section. Same with the video library as well. A lot of updated information will be going up on here. Okay, setting up Stripe. Again, dealing with different club registers here. Some of you are at different stages on this. Hopefully nearly all years have got over this process here. This does take a wee while, but again, Help Portal is very, very good information explaining you all the process. But basically, the overview of it is you create the Stripe account on phone. We'll deal with what the fees associated with your Stripe account, how to request a payout or topping up Stripe, and when are funds available in your Stripe account. Okay. Within the administration section on phone, you'll see an option to set up your Stripe account as shown you there. You need to have the following information ready before starting: bank details, sort code, and IBAN of your bank account. You need to have details of your club treasurer. You need to have the details of your club secretary or club chairperson. During the process of verification, code will then be sent to the phone number used in the setup, and this is usually the club treasurer. You'll be asked to enter the details of business representative, recommended here to be the treasurer used. These details entered must be accurate and matches details listed in an identification document. You'll also enter details of business directors. It's highly recommended you add your club secretary or chairperson. To complete the business details, verifiable documents will be requested. You'll be presented with the list of document options which are not applicable to a club. So we recommend that you select other, and then you can upload a bank statement or utility bill. So it's prompting you, but a lot of them are more related towards businesses. So for clubs, they recommend, Foreign Support recommend that you select other, so that then you can upload bank statements or utility bills related to their officers. Okay, this is really like Stripe is really like a bank account. You have all the same, any bank account, they are forever looking for updated documents. So this is very, very similar. So the system will also request verifiable identifications. Could be a driver license or password of the named persons. Please ensure the addresses match the documents provided. These two documents can take up to 24 hours, and if rejected, you'll have to contact Stripe. You will see these documents have been approved and the tick turns from red to green. The Stripe account will be enabled initially without the two verification documents. You'll be able to receive payments but not withdraw until the account is verified. After a period of time when the two documents are not verified, the account will become restricted and not allowed to accept of payments. So that happens there at some times throughout the years where somebody has not verified, have not uploaded the documents, some clubs, and therefore their account become restricted. Okay, fees associated with the Stripe account. There's no subscription or annual cost for using the Foireann system. However, online payments do occur from the payment provider, which is Stripe. And this is the case for any online payment using a credit or debit card. Each transaction made with a standard Irish or UK credit or debit card incurs an online payment, don't know whether you can see that, of charge of 1.35%. A club can top up their Stripe account, and the following charges are applicable. Topping up by a card is 1.35%, as indicated. Topping up by SAPA credit, this is Southern Ireland, there's 0.90 fixed fee plus 0.26 charge on top of on these top-ups. For example, transferring €100 to the bank will mean your club receives approximately £98.84 due to a charge of £1.16. So that's the makeup of it. The bank may also, depending on what bank you bank with, may also apply its own charges in addition to the above. That's the same with any of providers, and I believe these charges are a lot less than what we were using whenever we had the PayPal system. Topping up by SAPA direct debit, which is the case for Great Britain or Northern Ireland, there's a fixed £2 charge and 0.26 on top of this. So if topping up 500, you will receive approximately 496.71 into your Stripe account. There's no fees for registering members, and for the club removing money from your Stripe account back to your bank, there's no fee for that either. Again, all the clubs, especially our one clubs who might be using a third-party software, you're probably paying a lot more for using your third-party software than using the Foireann system. Okay, requesting a payout or top-up on Stripe. Okay, as explained earlier there, this is where you request a payout, this is where you request a top-up. Adding funds to your Foireann Link Stripe account, again, there's a very good help document that explains that within the help portal. These are the payment types. A Stripe top-up and payout must be approved by the club's financial administrator, which is normally the treasurer, as explained in the above help documents. Okay, so this document here explains it all, but that's something to note, and that was a change that was made last May or April. But most clubs at this stage will know about that, that you need to have a club financial administrator as well as just an ordinary club administrator to get added. Both of them get added to the treasurer's account. Okay, when are funds available in your Stripe account? Now, if a member pays directly into a club, it will show pending for approximately 3 days, and once clears, it will be available. If clubs are doing a transfer from bank SAPA payment, it's saying here talking about 4 days. Now, this is Stripe documentation coming from Stripe. Okay, and it says it will clear within 4 days of Stripe and then an additional 3 days. So that's 4 and 3, 7 working days, which is basically a week and a half. Now, our findings on this is that really for the first time you transfer money into Stripe, it basically takes 14 days or 15 days even. So any new club setting up, first time you do a bank transfer, you're really talking about 14 days or 15 days. When you go to do a second transfer, these are the time frames that's more talking about. In reality, a lot of times within a second transfer, it will usually clear within the 4 days, but they are saying it would be 7 working days. It's just every bank is different, and every time you do a transfer, depending on when you started, it can be different. So the important thing here is to never have no money in your account if you need to register somebody in a hurry. Probably the best thing, if somebody comes to your training on a Tuesday night and they need to get registered and you have no money in your Stripe account, the best way is to encourage them to register directly within Foireann. And if they pay it themselves, the member pays themselves via card, it should come available within 3 days. And therefore you can get them completed before the weekend, maybe whenever they're due to play or go back to training again on a Friday night. So it's important to get either keep money in your Stripe account or always have money in your Stripe account. Okay, you can only use funds that are showing available. If they're pending, they cannot be used to register anybody. It is therefore important, if there are not sufficient funds to be transferred well in advance of the required registration date. So this is all to do with the 31st of March. Don't leave it to your last week, because it will take you at least 7 working days to get the money into your account. Okay, membership options. So there's creating membership options. There's updating 2023 membership options. That's if your club already set up last year and you've not already done this. Or there's one club which the membership options are slightly different and can be more complex depending on how every one club is set up. So we'll deal with creating membership options first. Okay, so this is how you create a membership option. You go to the membership section, you click on the membership option, and we'll demonstrate this now when we go into the demo. One of the first things we'll do in the demo. We'll add new membership options and add all the information required. We'll insert your payment options, whether it's online or whether it is pay in club. And we can click whether everyone can see it or it's only available to administrators. Payment options and click save. Again, this is all explained on the help desk as well. Okay. For club members registering on the Foireann system, it's basically a 2-stage process. Stage 1 between the member and the club, and stage 2 is between the club member and the LGFA association. And as I explained earlier, the wee asterisk really is just to make sure everybody aware, a club at the start of the year must pay the LGFA fees before you can register anybody. But again, we'll talk about that later on. Okay. Option 1 in this here, between member and club, there's 3 ways a club can be set up. The preferred method, which is a member-driven system, is where the individual member registers themselves, registration process. Option 2 is where the club adds the members, not the preferred method, because all club officers, club registers, you all have enough to do without taking on that responsibility. So that's why the preferred method of Foireann and the way that it has been developed by the GAA is for it to be a member-driven system where the member registers themselves. Okay, and option 3 is, of course, clubs using third-party pieces of software, i.e. Club Force, but hopefully now with all the developments with the Foireann app and communications and teams and events within Foireann, hopefully a lot more clubs will be moving away from this, where they're actually paying 2 sets of charges that they'll all be moving over to using the Foireann system, hopefully. So we go through stage 1, option 1, member-driven system, where the member creates account, step 1 themselves. Step 2, they can register themselves or a family. And step 3, after filling out all the family details, to pay the membership online from the same site. Once registered, you will receive an email saying your membership is verified. So that's really the member-driven system, and it's the preferred option. Okay, option 2 is where the club adds the members. Again, help desk. There's 2 options on the help desk there to explain this. It explains how, and we show this now in the demo as well, where I'll add a member to Foireann, and then the other one is then where the LGFA members are registered as well. Okay. Now, in option 3 is where a club is using a third-party software. They have 4 steps to follow. They have, for example, here on Club Force, there's 3 steps within Club Force to do the bulk upload into Foireann. But when you bulk upload for all the 1 clubs that are on here tonight, when you do the bulk upload, that does not mean the members are registered. So there's a 4th step for them to complete. The most selected members in Foireann, which means tick the box to the left of their name and select pay LGFA fees. So club registration must complete all LGFA registration. Members are only at fees due stage after a bulk upload from a 3rd-party piece of software. So again, help document explains all that within the Foireann help portal. Members is then at a waiting approval stage. LGFA registrations are then approved by myself, the National Registrar. A member is not registered until the approval is completed. Registrations are approved between Monday and Friday from 9 AM to 5 PM, and anything after 5 PM is approved the following day. If registration is not completed by a club to a Friday night, then it will be Monday morning or Tuesday after bank holiday before it is approved. LGFA, very lucky in that as soon as I approve the registrations, they are approved, they can go and train, they can go and play. Unlike Camogie, they have a 3-day, you have to be registered 3 days, approved by the Camogie Association before you can actually play. So that's an advantage within the LGFA system. As soon as you're approved by myself or the team in Croke Park, you can go to training or you can play. Okay. Now, stage 2, club to the association. So as I explained earlier there, before an LGFA club at the beginning of every year, they must pay the LGFA annual fees. So to do that, you must select a member, go up here and select pay LGFA fees. It'll open up this screen here. Now this here is a demo system, so it is showing that the demo system is paying the Club All Ireland levy, which is €150, and it was also linked to our county that takes an affiliation fee of €175. Most counties don't take this, but as part of the levies, this is the case on this demo system. So they had to pay €325. So what happens then in the club when they go and try to do the first registration, they must go through these steps, pay the levies, hit pay €325, and then that allows them to start registering members. So you'll see this person here, Mary O'Connor. It was a person who was added in by the club, and I'll be adding in somebody later on myself, and we'll show you this. You select Mary O'Connor here, you select register, and then it brings up the membership chip. These are called membership chip, and it's a fees due status. Okay, it's adding the membership chip in. Okay, so the same Mary O'Connor here, she's at her fees due here. So to pay her fees, you must select the tick box, or you can select 20 of these the same. Select the tick box here, select pay LGFA fees, and then now the member changes to awaiting approval. So this is where the National Register will approve this member between those times, and it then becomes a green membership chip. And it's only whenever it becomes a green membership chip is that the member is now fully registered and can go to training and can actually play. So if it's in yellow or red, it means that it is not fully registered for the 2023 season. Okay. For a club then that hasn't started the process yet, and if their registrations for 2022 are the same in 2023, there's a button that they can select update from 2020, and this is all explained as well within the help documents. One button, if you're happy that all the membership options types are correct, and then there's no changes to your fees, you can just hit this button and it'll change all your 2022 options directly to 2023. A very handy function for all the clubs that are starting off at the moment. Okay, one club membership options. Again, every one club is different. And the best guidance we can give you is to look at the one club guidance on the LGFA website. And then there's one club guidance within the Foireann help portal. It explains all the differences. They set up membership types. Membership options might be slightly different, but again, that's all explained within one club on Foireann. And some one clubs maybe have the same, it could be a GA club, it could be an LGF club, LGFA club, all combined, or it could have all three associations, GA, Camogie, LGFA. Every one club is different. Some one clubs have set fees. That's up to the one club in question, and that's all explained within. The only thing important for the one club, if it's a GA slash LGFA one club, the GA main officers also need to be registered with LGFA as well. Okay. Okay, national fees. Now we'll briefly discuss this. Again, all club registers should have received an Excel file from the county registrar. This here is an overview of what the national fees are for each age group. Provincial fees on top of this, and every province have slightly different fees. County fees, again, every county has their own fees, and then clubs can put in their own fee on top of that. Again, every county registrar has a copy of this for their own county. So if you haven't got this, or your club secretary has not been provided with this, you can contact your county registrar and they should be able to inform you of the fees and forward you on the Excel file. The only fee that is no difference for everybody is the Gaelic for Mothers fees. It's the same for everybody. It is €12 in total, €2 minimum to go to the club. Again, clubs can set that to their own amount, but there's €2 to go to every county, €2 to every province, and €6 then nationally. Okay, that's about the national fees. Foireann features. This is where we're getting very close to the demo in the system. So the things I'm going to show tonight, I'm going to show you the filter options. A lot of club registrars are not aware of the filter options, so I just want to make sure, if you have 200, 300, 500 members, this filter option is a very integral part of your function and will save you an awful lot. Makes it so much easier to see if somebody's not registered, if they're sitting at fees due, and just who you need to complete the registration. We're going to deal with verifying members, missing membership ID numbers, adding top-up, additional injury fund to a youth or an adult non-player. Let's say like a referee or a coach may want to take out the injury fund payment to cover themselves, like same as a player or same as an adult player. A youth, if a youth is a 16-year-old, a 17-year, 18-year-old, they may have a part-time job, they may have a summer job. By paying the extra €10 for a 16-year-old, 17 or 18-year-old, it means that some of the wages will be covered, subject to the rules of the injury fund. And any club who wants more details about that would email Amy, our player injury fund officer, to get details. For the adult non-players, the extra payment is €25, the same as an adult full player, and it will cover referees and coaches. Again, I'll show you how to pay this, to select this option. The one thing that is important about this, you only can do either one of them or 3 people who are taking the same option at the same time. You cannot do this registration in a bulk upload. Okay. Multiple membership. Again, we'll not discuss this any further tonight, apart from what do you do with a member with multiple membership ID numbers. Basically, you can use it if you hover over anybody with multiple membership ID numbers, it gives you a wee help information about it. Basically, you can use any of those ID numbers to verify the member. Okay, we'll also talk about deduplication and merging profiles, and I'll show you as an example of that. We'll also look at team sheets, and we have explained about the Foireann app and the whole communication side of things. Okay, and vetting is the last part here on the Foireann features that has been introduced last year, and there's a very informative webinar being conducted by the Foireann team on vetting your volunteers on Foireann on Thursday the 9th of March or Thursday the 13th of April. Okay. Now we move on to the live demo here now. Okay. Now, this here's in the demo system here now, and I'm going into Foireann Rovers, which has been set up for us here. Okay. Now, first thing I'm going to show you is so at the moment I have 8 members in here at the moment, and the first thing I'm going to show you is the filter options. Okay, so if we put on here under the filter, we put on the 2023 season, because if you're a club, you can see all your 2022 and previous seasons, so you can use the filter to go back and look at 2021 registrations. But if you use the 2023 at the moment, so membership association is the LGFA. Again, if you're one club, you might want to switch between LGFA, GA, Camogie, and membership status, who's all registered. So at the moment, within this test club, there's only the one person registered, which is Mary O'Connor. Let's see, look at who is at fees due. Okay, we have again one member at fees due. Okay, and we will look at in progress. Okay, we have Rachel O'Reilly here, and she is at payment due. Okay, so we'll explain each one of these here. Just hold on to get me notes. Okay, first thing I'm going to explain is create a membership option. So at the moment, under membership options, I've only the one membership type, which is adult player for 2023 season, and it's a full player, and they can register online, and we have card payment or an in-club, a club registrar or a club admin can actually register somebody as well. So both options are here, and the cost is €75. Okay, so we're going to add another membership type. So I'm going to add an adult non-player membership type. I'm going to set up 2 types of them. One which allows a person to pay the extra €25 if they want to be covered for the player injury payment, and one without. So add membership type, season 2023, adult player. Okay, full adult non-player. Okay, it's going to be active. Okay, so you could set it up as draft and only the club administrators can see it. Membership configuration. Add adult. Okay, it's LGFA, it's a full, and it's a non-player. Okay. Price, currency, it's going to be euros. Everyone can see it. I'm putting in the price here as 40 euros. Okay. Who can order this membership option? Everyone. Okay. Payment options. Yes, we're going to allow payment options. Installments, no. Your club site is set up to receive online payments. Okay, I haven't got that set up as it's only a temporary. It's a demo site. Option to pay later in club. Yeah, I'm going to give that option as well. Okay. So don't want to capture any additional information. We're going to save that membership type. Okay, so now we have two. We have an adult non-player, full adult non-player, and it's 40 euros. So I'm going to create a second adult non-player, which is an adult non-player with the player injury fund payment. So it will really be charging an extra 25 euros so that it can be paid at the time of registrations. So adult player, season 2023, membership option, adult non-player plus player injury fund, description, full adult non-player plus player injury fund. Okay, status active, membership configuration is an adult and it's a non-player. Okay, currency, euro, price, I'm going to make this 40 euros plus the 25, 65 euros. Okay, everyone can see it. Who can order this membership? Everyone. Card payment, yes. No installments, option to pay later in club. We'll put that on as well. Okay, and we'll save that as well. Okay, so now we have 3 membership options. Again, same thing, creating up a youth membership as well and creating up a family membership, all the same options. This button here has been added in quite recently and it's a very good function. It's where you can hit share and then you can actually send a link that'll bring a member straight in on their phone to where the membership options are. And it's a quicker way rather than having them to log on. Like an awful lot of people now want to use their phone to pay in membership on Foireann. So with the app on their phone and you sharing this with them, it's a quick way of getting straight in and people completing their registrations. Something again, maybe try with a small number of members first of all, and then you maybe can expand it out more. Okay, so with these 3 membership types, let's go back into the membership. Okay, I'm going back into Foireann Rovers. Okay, and the next thing I'm going to do, I'm going to register a player. Okay, I have, as you can see here, myself. Okay, I have no membership chip here myself. I have another coach here who doesn't have a membership chip, and we'll deal with all these. And I have 3 different people here at different stages of membership, and we'll explain each one of them. Okay, first thing I'm going to do then is, as I say, I'm going to register Chloe Fahey here. Okay, so what I'm going to do is member actions. This is where I'm going to add a member. Okay. Email, I'm just going to use my national registrar. Okay, gender, female, changing the name here to Chloe. Okay, changing it to Vi. Okay. Okay. I'll just put this in as mail as well. Doesn't really matter. It's just a test. Medical information, consent. Yes. Oh no, I'm going to just leave that. No. No medical information, just save us here, just nice and quickly. Going to communications, everything, additional code. Okay, so therefore you're adding now here the club to the profile. Saving that. Okay, so Chloe's on here now to say you've added somebody to the profile, but still don't have any membership chip here. Okay, and because you've added the person, they're already verified. So it takes it that, you know, the club committee is aware you're going to add somebody new to this, to your club. Therefore, you're going to be verified if a club administrator has done this. Okay, so how do we get the membership chip to appear? So again, you select the tick box to the left of the name, go up here to member actions, and you go register. So now you can select whether they are an adult non-player with player. But this case here, we're registering an adult player for 2023. We hit register, and now the chip appears. Okay. So fees due. She's still not registered at this stage. She must be. You have to hit select now pay LGFA fees. So we have 2 people here sitting at LGFA fees due. So why don't we do these 2 at the one time? So we'll select both of them. Okay, go up here and select fees actions, pay LGFA fees. Now, if you're one club and you have GA, LGFA, and Camogie, you'll have a pay Camogie option here. And in a lot of club situations, you'll have the GA club registrar who will maybe set this all up. You'll have the LGFA club registrar who will just pay the LGFA fees, and you'll have the Camogie LGFA registrar, registrar, and they'll just pay the Camogie fees. So it means if a player here has LGFA registration chip and a Camogie registration chip, you'd only pay your own particular one, which would be LGFA, which would be concerned ourselves. So we have to select those 2 people, and we can use a filter here as well here. Membership status, fees due. So it shows us these 2 people. We can select both of them. Okay, fees due, pay LGFA fees. Okay, and it's going to pay 124, which is the cost of the 2 memberships. Okay. Payment successful. Okay. So now when we go back, deselect fees due, you can see now that these are awaiting approval. Okay. So okay, and deselect 2023. Okay, we see everybody again. Okay, I explained the filter options. Verifying members now. Verifying members. You can see Mary O'Connor here, her registration is complete. And because she was verified, her ID number appears. So Chloe here, there's no ID number. Same with Sarah here, no ID number yet because the registrations are not yet complete. Okay, so I'm just going to quickly go in before I complete the next wee bit. So back onto the verifications again. This problem with ID numbers missing for an awful lot of clubs is really clubs who are using a third-party piece of software to upload them, bulk upload them, and then therefore they don't have a Foireann account, and therefore they're not verified. So to be able to verify somebody, you just, let's say, select, let's say Sarah down here. I'm not going to do it for a particular reason, but I'll show you what you do to get the number to appear. You take the box to the left of the name, go up here to member actions, and you hit verify, and then that would allow the ID number then to appear when you refresh it. Okay, so I'm not just going to do that because I want to show duplications in a few minutes what happens with this with Sarah here. So I'm just going to go into a team sheet that I've done up here already. Okay, this is a Foireann team sheet I've already set up here. Okay, and actions. So this is where you create up the team sheet. It's ladies football, senior, visible. I've added players into it, added coaches, added others, and then I can view it here. Download team sheet. Okay. If you have your executive filled in, this will be already filled in. Okay, we'll hit just download, hit confirm. Okay, so the team sheet, as you can see here, we have 3 members on the team so far. We'll be adding other members in a few minutes here. We have myself as a manager and Daniel as a coach. You can see these warning triangles. These warning triangles is to indicate that the members are not registered. So you have a problem, or either you have selected, which will indicate in a few minutes, SOCRA will be selected incorrectly. So this is where we need to get everybody registered. So let's just deal with that. We'll go back to the teams. Okay. Back into our demo here. So, okay. And back into membership. Okay, we're nearly coming to the end of the demo here. Okay, so as I explained there, we're going to add up, we're going to register Daniel here, and we're going to, he's the coach, and he wants to be covered for the player injury fund. So we select him here, we members actions, we register him. This time we're going to pick an adult non-player with the player injury fund payment. Register him. Okay, so now he has his chip here now. LGFA fees for due. Okay, so we select him here again. We'll go up here, fees actions, pay LGFA fees. Okay. And include where required and where available, and add as an add-on. So this is the player injury fund fee, where we select this here. You can see down here at the moment, it's saying 37. When we include this, it adds in the injury fund for the coach, okay, in this case, and therefore now we're paying 62 now for this person. Okay, pay 62, confirm. Close. Okay, so now Daniel's registered as well, and he's waiting approval. Okay. Do the same again with myself. Okay, Remember, we'll just leave that at the moment the way it is. We'll not bother completing that one. So we have a few people here sitting at fees due. All awaiting approval. Okay, so I'll go back here to home, view approvals. This is what I would do. Okay, and Chloe, Sarah, Daniel. No, Sarah Hughes isn't, and Sarah. So this is what I do. I approve the members. Okay, and they're approved. Now we go back in. And you see now they've all gone now green. Okay. Okay. If we go back in now to our team sheet. And we go actions, download team sheet. Download, confirm. You can see now Donal is now registered. Wee O'Connor is registered. Socrates is still not registered yet. You know, we're after registering her. And why has that not happened? Okay, so let me explain. This is where she's registered and she has two profiles. So let's show you how to do a merge. And Rachel, why is Rachel not registered? So let's look at it as well. Okay, we'll go back into Foireann. We'll go back into membership. We'll deal with Rachel first of all. So Rachel is in red, payment due. So she came yesterday to us and she paid her money to the club treasurer. Didn't realize that just after hearing that. So what the club administrators have to do, they must hit the membership chip and mark her as being paid because she's paid the club treasurer last night. Okay, you're going to confirm that. She's now gone to yellow where she's fees due, which you have to complete. Okay, and we'll go up here and we'll pay my registrations as well. Members actions, register. I'm going to pick adult non-player just without the player injury fund. Register. Okay, so now I'm also sitting at fees due. So these two can be completed. Let's go back to Sarah here and Sarah. So Sarah has two profiles, one with registration, but this here was the one that was linked to the team sheet, which is indicating she's not yet. We know she's registered. So we view duplicates for all your multiple family members that's on Foireann. You hit review duplicates. It throws up both of them. Now you could have 3, you could have 4 of these. What's important here is to pick the one that the right email address, they have an account status. So we can see this in account status. They also have the email address. So everything's filled in to make that a complete profile. Well, this profile over here, it was one set up by the club. It is no account. It is no email address, yet it's the one that has, or this one here has the registration. So we're going to mark this one here as the primary record. And just need to go up a wee bit. I am. Okay. This is the primary record. I want the primary and skip this record. And we're going to merge this one into the primary one. Okay. Merge them. Okay. Okay, we'll go back to the screen here. We now have only got one Sarah Trenner. Okay, we have 2 people here still to complete. So let's select both of them. Go up here and select pay LGFA fees, pay now, confirm. Okay, close. We go back into the teams and groups. Go back in here. Go down, look at the team sheet. You can see now. Okay, let's just, that should have refreshed there. I'm just going to hit it again. Download team sheet. Download, confirm. Okay, don't know what's going on here. It should be, it's showing Shoko, right? Should be showing Rachel. What have I done wrong? Somebody out here probably can tell me quicker than me. 1 wee second. But it should have updated the team sheet. What have I done wrong? Go back to home here. Oh, did I approve the last two? Oh no, forgot to approve. Forgetting the most basic step of all that I do every day. Approve members. Okay, back into team sheets. Back in here. Actions. Download team sheet. Confirm. So now I'm now registered. Soccer is now registered. Rachel is where everybody's registered. We can add more people into the team sheet as well. These blank spots here is, so let's say you have your panel of players for the senior team, 30 of them all added here, and you go to your game every week. This can be printed out and the manager can fill in from 1 to 15 who's starting, and every week that can be updated. And then you use just your wee slips. So this in team sheets now, if used properly, can very easily highlight who is not registered or why is somebody not registered and who you can merge to make them appear on the team sheet, and everybody is registered. And it means there'll be no queries from your county registrar after games. Okay, I think that's all that I want to demo, and I'll hand you back here now to Niall, and we'll go back to the presentation and questions and answers. Oh, first we'll just deal with quickly is what's coming next. So this membership enhancements coming very soon, where club registrars or club administrators will be able to upgrade membership. So that's somebody maybe who's going from maybe somebody who's playing Gaelic from others at the moment, and they want to start playing with the main team, so you can update from Gaelic from others up to being an adult player. Likewise, if you're a Gaelic from others registrar and you want to be registered as an adult non-player because you want to have a vote at the AGM, you can upgrade. This is a function that can be used to increase, to upgrade a membership. It cannot be used for downgrading a membership. That still has to come through the national office. Admins will be able to update families very soon. Register, complete the registration and take card payments. If you're having pay as club, it means that the club registrar can actually take a card payment from somebody and import that there and then. So there's going to be another admin update by the end of February that will explain all of this and other functions. Then the player transfer system will come in July and August, and a club shop within the system will be very soon also released. Okay, in the near future. These are some other places where you can get information. Niall,
yeah,
do you want to come back in?
I suppose I'll come in there, Austin. I suppose very, very detailed presentation there from Austin. I feel like I could go in and register my whole club now. So thank you again for that, Austin. I suppose just to finish off the night, guys, We've got some of the supports that are available, some of the resources that are available to you, and I suppose it's just to make you aware that the LGFA hub on our website is a really, really important tool for yourself as a club officer. So if you go into under the LGFA ladiesgaelic.ie and click on the LGFA hub, it'll bring you to a section. There's a county section, a club section, a players section. But if you click on the club section, you can actually go in, you can look at your club officer guidelines. You can go and look at your role description, know exactly what you should be doing, what maybe you shouldn't be doing. There's up and coming webinars are on there. So all the ones Austin listed there and others as well are on there. You can register for events. You can download and print any amount of resources on there as well. And there's also tabs and links for different workbooks and different resources on there as well. And again, if you have any questions on registration there, Austin's email is on the screen at the moment. If you go on to the next screen there, the next slide there for me, Austin, there's also the GAA Learning Portal. I know it's the GAA Learning Portal, but I suppose all three associations use it as well. And there's additional workshops on there. Again, you can register for events. There's any amount of resources on it as well. So take a look through them for any officer role. And there's also access to the IT help desk through there as well. So you can see it's in learning.gaa.ie /administrator will get you in there as well. If you move on maybe to the next slide, Austin, I think we're just going to take some questions now, and you'd be glad to know, Austin, there's a load of questions. So we might end the recording just now. So thanks again for everyone who came and listened today. Thanks to Austin for presenting, and we'll take a few questions now.